Hi guys, welcome back to week 2, workout 2 of All I Want for Christmas Redux. And today it is a Thursday, so we are down on the floor with this mat bar workout that's going to get a little bit legalicious. So we are focusing on inner and outer thighs. You do not need any equipment, just your mat. So go ahead, roll it out and let's go. All right, guys, it is workout 2, week 2 of All I Want for Christmas Redux, which means this week we're all about the legs. So if you missed the first workout of this week, which was our cardio leg workout, I will have that as well as the rest of the playlist linked down below. And I might even link the past year's playlist so that you can get all caught up. You can be doing festive workouts like crazy all month long. But today is our mat base. It's going to be a mat bar for inner and outer thighs. We have got, I think this time we actually do have 16 moves, 16 exercises, and it's going to be 1 minute of each. So we've got 1 extra minute on this one. It's 16 minutes instead of 15. I think we'll all make it through just fine. So starting off here, you're going to come down onto your back. We get a little bit of abs in the mix sometimes too. Why not? Let's do hands underneath the tailbone for a little support. So it's underneath the tailbone, not all the way back here. The idea is that the lower back drops into a little hole rather than lifting up. All right, 1 minute, we're gonna be lifted here, knees turned out, feet are in a V shape. We extend long, maintaining that V, so don't let the toes come together. Draw back in. That is our first exercise, 1 full minute, let's go. So exhale, extend. You could also do this with head, neck, and shoulders lifted if you so desire. I'm going to, because I just don't like putting my head on the mat when I have my hair back, because it just does things to it. I don't like it. It's not comfortable. So yeah, you can do it either way, but make sure that you're keeping lower abs engaged here too, so that lower back stays pressed down. And we're thinking of bringing the backs of the legs together. That's the amount of turnout I want to find here. So backs of the knees should touch because we're extending all the way straight, pausing for a second in that extension. We're off to a strong start for those inner thighs. And we'll see if this week is similar to last week. Last week, I did think that the Thursday workout was a bit harder. Stay here. I want you to cross, right leg on top, toes are pointed. We're just gonna lift, bring it back down. Right leg, lift. Think of inner thigh drawing in toward you at the same time. Try to maintain that turnout with the left leg. If you need to modify a little bit, just bring it up a little higher. So this is gonna be a little bit smaller. The left leg will feel a little bit more supported. Otherwise, you can go low. You can go like all the way down here if you wanted to really get crazy. Up to you. I'm gonna go kind of in the middle. So it's still a lot of abs, but think of squeezing the inner thighs as well. And if we have a full minute on this side, probably means it's gonna repeat on the other side. Keep it going. Couple more here. Let's do one last one. Boom. And then we're going to switch. So left leg's cross on top. Find that turnout. Left leg lift and lower. Lift and lower. My hip pops on this one, but it's okay. It doesn't hurt. It just pops. My left hip is a little wacky. But if you're hearing a little pop, yes, that is my hip every time. Hoo-wee. Keep squeezing navel down. We're so close. And the worst of this one is right here at the start. I think this is the hardest bit because really I tricked you and put a bit of abs in too. Sorry for that. One more. And then we're gonna bring the legs all the way up. We're gonna open to a nice wide V, cross and center. Open, wide V, cross and center. And as always, feel free to go a little bit bigger than I'm going here. I'm restricted on my right side by the wall. So that's why I'm keeping these pretty small, but you don't want to go too big with these either. If they get too big, it becomes a stretch. So basically, don't go to where like the hip releases and then we have to like really kick it up. It should be controlled the whole way. So stay in the muscle, don't drop open to a stretch. This is not the time when we're looking at really increasing the flexibility on our straddle, although that can come as a byproduct of this because we're strengthening the muscles around it. So it can help, but we're not dropping into it. Last one there, go ahead, roll onto one side. I'll pause here for a second. So roll onto the side. Top leg here, you can either cross like this or in front, as long as the hip stays stacked. I'm just gonna grab it here. Bottom leg is our active leg. We're gonna do a lift with it. So toes pointed, we lift. I want you to hold, slow, release. That's right, we're holding. Lift, hold, slow, release. Make sure that you're holding it at that highest point. Lift, hold, slow, release. Keep the knee locked straight so that all of the activity, all of the energy is staying in that inner thigh. Nice and controlled. It's Luna sneezing in the background. I feel like I'm always like doing disclaimers about Luna sneezing in the background. She's a sneezy girl. At this time of year, she just gets really sneezy. I don't know if it's because she does have a slightly flat face. She is a Persian. She's not the super like smush-faced Persian, but she does have a slightly flat face. Last one here, and then keep it up. You're gonna do a tiny little bend of the knee, push, extend. Little bend, push. So it's hardly any bend. Sometimes I see people doing great big bends on this where it's like this, and then they're just kind of shaking out the knee here. No, the extension is the important part. So you need to hit that extension every single time and be able to pause in the extension. The bend is just a tiny little bit, just so it gives us somewhere to find the extension from again. That's the only purpose it really serves. Keep going. The annoying thing is that my right foot is sliding a little bit on the mat because I got socks on. So that was an error. But we're gonna push through. Nothing to it. Few more seconds here. One last one, and then lock the knee straight again, and we're doing little pulses up, up. So I said this when we briefly did this one on Monday. Make sure you are pulsing up and not down, right? So if it's down, it's gonna look like this, right? This is not my highest point. I'm going from like medium point to lower. I wanna go from highest point to a little higher, squeeze a little tighter. So we're working on the range with this one. I'm gonna have to extend that leg because my foot is sliding. And keep pulsing here, abs tight. I'm finding a little bit of shake there. It is starting to feel a little bit crampy in the inner thigh. Not a real cramp. That is that muscle group engaging. So disregard, power through, mind over matter, and focus on the length. If you're just focusing on the height, that knee is probably gonna soften. So keep that knee locked. Last one there. Now I want you to bring the legs together. Knees here, lift the feet. We're gonna clamshell here. So with feet floating, inhale, close, exhale, open, hips stay stacked. So the unfortunate thing is if you're in the correct spot here on the side, this bottom hip bone is pretty much gonna be pressing directly into the floor. If you've got a more cushioned mat, you might not even notice it, might be just fine. I definitely always feel that hip bone grinding into the floor. But hey ho, it's not long that we're here for. You can endure. It's not like the worst pain ever. It's a little bit uncomfortable. But otherwise, if you're back here off of it, too far back, okay? So you do kind of want to be on that hip bone. That is just the unfortunate reality of this one. Check in with the feet. Make sure they're not dropping. We're gonna keep them nice and lifted. One more, and I want you to keep this one open. So feet together, we extend, touch, extend, touch. Keep it strong. Keep that bottom foot lifted. Watch that you're not opening up the hip here. So again, we're not rolling back and like kicking up here, because notice I had to drop onto the glute to do that. Stay on your side. Woo, getting a burn right about here. So yeah, glutes and legs do kind of mix together a little bit sometimes, you know. It's all kind of lower body at the end of the day. But next week is going to be our abs and upper body. It's going to be combined because sadly, we're already almost to Christmas. And I feel like I can't do all I want for Christmas once it's over. Last one there. Final thing on the side, we're going to combo. So you're going to close, open, extend. So yeah, after this, we only have one more week. It is a real tragedy indeed. But yeah, Christmas just comes up too fast. And then just so you are not alarmed, I will be probably taking a break just until the new year after that. So there probably won't be any posts. I say probably, I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I might be just like sitting around post-Christmas with not a lot going on, thinking I would like to film some workouts now. So yeah, I can't say for sure. But my thought for the moment is that after all I want for Christmas, so post-Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's, probably I will be a little bit radio silent on here and then pick it back up in the new year. Last one there, nice controlled release. All right, stop the timer. We're gonna switch onto the other side. So we've got those 6 things on the other side. We're 10 minutes deep, 6 minutes to go. So starting with that inner thigh, lift and hold. Bottom foot, toes pointed, we lift, hold, and release. Lift, hold, and release. I'm just gonna extend that leg out because my foot is sliding too much on this mat. So really go slow with that release. So basically it's finding that we can maintain it and that you're not just using momentum to like kick it up high and drop it back down, because we don't want to kick it up, drop it down. We want to be able to hold it and then slowly release it because we choose to release it, not because it's just falling. That is not what we want. Little bit more here, and then we're to that micro bend and the extension. So again, micro bend, full extension. Keep it up. A little soften of the knee, push. A little soften, push, hold. So always you can go slower with these. I would rather you went slower to some extent, because that means that you're going to be finding that extension each time and feeling the extension, okay? And that extension, we want to be high as well. So this is where we're putting it together. We're finding the lift and the length and just sitting with it. Just relaxing into it for a moment. Keep navel in tight. Keep it going. It's kind of relaxing when you just settle into it and let it keep going. After this, we just have that last one for this bottom inner thigh, and that is our pulse, straight pulse. Last one here, pulse it up, up. So each time, make it a lift, not a drop, and not a drop and then a lift. So it's purely a lift. So you're gonna go from like, ow, it hurts, to, oh, it hurts a little bit more. Oh, it's engaged a little bit more, right? We're never like turning it off. We're never releasing for this minute period. We fully released in the first one when we did all the way down to the mat. Now we're not releasing it anymore. It stays lifted, it stays engaged. Woo! You will feel the difference. It makes quite a big difference. I'm really, really focusing it on this side. It's a little bit easier for me to tap into it on this side because my mind-body connection is a little bit stronger. It's my right leg. It's my dominant side. So my mind is like, it's there. My mind is in my leg. Left side, it has a couple of like barriers that we're trying to get through. Last one there. Bring the knees together. Knees stay down. Lift the feet though. We open and close. So you're right on that bottom hip bone. Elevated clamshell. Nice and controlled. Which means I get to finish with the left leg here. So yeah, there's a little disconnect sometimes, but the way we develop that, make it stronger, is just repetition. Just continuing to work on it, really focusing. So anytime I'm moving, I'm really trying to connect my mind to what's happening. I'm really thinking about the active muscle group so I can just make that connection a little bit stronger. I don't know. Are you guys quite dominant on one side? In terms of muscle strength, I'm actually not really, because I had my muscle mass tested. I'm actually fairly symmetrical. The right is a little bit stronger, but not very much. Last one here, and extensions. But mentally, I do feel like there's a disconnect. I'm definitely a lot less coordinated on the left. I need to do the little tricks they tell people to do to strengthen the left side, like eat with your left hand, brush your teeth with your left hand, all those kinds of things. But then my left leg, I'm like, what would I do with my left leg to strengthen it? I don't know. There are definitely things. I mean, these sorts of things are strengthening it. Just gotta bring a little awareness into it. Not too much more here, and then we're gonna be into our final minute, our bonus minute. We just suddenly jumped from 15 to 16 minutes. It just had to be done. Last one here, and then final thing, we combo. So close, open, extend. Keeping the feet floating, floating feet. Ooh. So if you guys are doing this video as it's posted, when it's posted, yeah, we only got about another week, well, I guess a week and a half until Christmas. We're in the final stretch. Are we ready? Goes by fast. This time of year always goes by really fast. And then for me, January through June is just so long. Just so long. The summer goes by relatively fast, although I don't know. It's so hot here. It was so hot last summer, I couldn't handle it. Last one here. Boom, boom, boom. Release. There we go. Go ahead, roll onto your back here. We'll give it a bit of a stretch out. So I want you to cross the right knee over the left, fully cross at the knees. You're going to pull in here. So you can grab the ankles or the shins. Watch that tailbone doesn't lift like this though. We want to keep a flat back. But then from there, now we're going to pull in. So pulling the ankles in toward the shoulders, pressing tailbone down. Ooh, that's a feeling. That feels some type of way. And then from there, keep the right leg in, let the left leg just extend away from you. We're just gonna stretch up. So you can grab behind the thigh or the calf, just avoid the knee. Shoulders stay down. And we can do a little bend, push, bend, push. Try and just release into a little bit. And release. Switching sides here. So left knee crosses fully over the right. We're gonna pull in. Oop, this side's a little weird for me because my hip is a little weird on this side. Tailbone stays down. Totally different angle over here. And go ahead and release. So right leg extends away from you. We extend, left leg up. Again, just grabbing anywhere other than the back of the knee. Little bend, extend. So it's finding the strength and the stretch, which does really help with it. And go ahead, bring it down, both knees in here. You can just kind of circle out the legs. It's a nice one for the lower back and hips. It just resets everything. And reverse. It's a nice one actually to do before bed, end of the day. It's very relaxing. And then when you're ready, just rock it up to a seated position. That's week 2 done. Week 2 is done already. We got one more week. So be sure to hit that subscribe button down below so that you do not miss the last week of All I Want for Christmas Redux. It's going to be a full year before we get to do it again. That already makes me a little bit sad. But if you enjoy doing this series, if you like festive workouts, hit that like button and give me a little season greeting down below in the comments. Say hi to the cats. Anything you want to drop down there. I love reading it. So I will see you guys back here next week for the final week. Bye.